I'm Megan Mitchell. This is my co-host John Morrison, and you, yeah, you are listening to the True North Racing Podcast.
Ain't no hesitation, got me going crazy. Keep it moving, I'm tuned in to True North Racing, the podcast that you need if you got the need for speed. John Morrison interviewing guests in the industry. Hey, short track, stock car racing, gotta get it hype. Saturday night under the lights, hear the engine rooming by. Smell the gas and feel the vibe, going into overdrive. Drop the flag, then the car zooming by. Hey, True North Racing, let's go.
Welcome back to a new year of the True North Racing Podcast. I'm Megan Mitchell, and joining me, as always, is John Morrison.
How's it going, everyone? It's definitely good to be back after the holiday break. Megan, how were your holidays?
Pretty good.
What'd you get up to?
Not too much. There's a lot of last minute shopping just because of the move, so didn't really do much. Just kind of hung around at home and with my family. Really, that's about it. What about you?
Nothing wrong with that. My holidays were pretty good. Got had some fun with the kids over the week that we had them. Lots of things changing up on my end, which is nice. But it's good though. We made it to 2023.
Mm-hmm.
We can all give ourselves a round of applause with that one. It's that just means we're getting closer and closer to race season, which I don't know about you. I'm getting pretty excited for it.
Nervous.
Yeah. Honestly, that I feel like that's a lot of people still. Like, there's guys who are probably still working on their cars or having touched their cars from last year.
Yeah.
It's lots of things happen. Did you see what Sunset Speedway's up to now?
I have not seen anything from Sunset.
They have just came back to a NASCAR sanctioned track.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So that they dropped that on Saturday, and they're going back to the NASCAR sanction for their. I think I saw. It was the late models. It was the super stocks. I think I saw the modifieds and the hot rod class were all going to be classified under the NASCAR banner next year, which is kind of cool. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out up there. I'm always a fan when the tracks and everything can have the funding to be able to get the NASCAR title sponsorship and run the weekly division. The only thing that I find is an issue for us here in Canada is we only have 6 months of racing. So I was down with Cam Thompson on Saturday. I know I'm just going way off topic here already to start the show. Just New Year, same us. Apparently, we're just gonna go.
Yeah.
I was talking with Cam Thompson on Saturday, and we were saying it would be nice if 3 tracks can come together, one run Friday night, one run Saturday, one run Sunday. And then that way our guys could really have a chance to run for national points.
So it works for the dirt tracks. You have Oswego Friday, Merrittville Saturday, Humberstone Sunday. And there's a lot of drivers that go to each one. So that'd be really cool.
It would be nice to see. The only problem is I'm not saying that dirt is easier, because dirt is just as hard, if not harder, than asphalt sometimes. But it's do you have the dedicated crew guys? Because with asphalt, especially with a pro late, there's things you are going to have to change from Friday night to Saturday night to Sunday night, depending on the track you go to.
Oh, big time, yeah.
Right? Just like those dirt guys, I'm sure they don't get out of there till 12, 1 o'clock, drive let's say minimum 30 minutes to go home, park the car in the garage, get up at 8 a.m. and do it all over again. Right? I feel like you'd have to have a dedicated group of guys to be able to do that.
Big time.
But again, I would love to see something like that, so that way we can see more involvement from NASCAR in Canada. Because like we got the Pinty series and that's all cool and stuff, but that's the only thing that we have. Like last year we didn't have NASCAR sanctioned tracks. And I love it. I love going in there and, you know, you go up to Sunset and there's the thing. It's, you know, NASCAR home track, NASCAR wheeling, or NASCAR, no longer NASCAR wheeling, NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts weekly series track. Like,
It's cool.
exactly. And you know what? And I was telling someone else this. It's great for sponsorship. This is the one thing people, you can hate NASCAR for all you want. Hate them. I don't care. But the one thing that is beautiful to have is that card that says you're a NASCAR member.
Mm-hmm.
Because one, if you're going to a sponsor, do you know how much easier it is to go up to a sponsor who may not be involved in racing and go, yeah, I race NASCAR. Everyone's heard of NASCAR.
Exactly. Not everybody's heard of
Your
Sunset or Flamborough.
yeah. It's like,
We used
oh,
to say
where do you
NASCAR.
run? Like, oh, what do you run? Like, and it's easier for them to be able to sell sponsorship based on that because of that NASCAR name. And to be fair, I was in high school. I was 15-ish when I got my NASCAR member license because of David Elliott.
Yeah.
I would go to school. I would like, what did you do Friday night? I was like, I was at NASCAR. I was a bit of a dork in high school. I'm going to be honest. When it came to, like, I flaunted that card whenever I could.
I feel that though, because like the one year when I was in high school, I think it was high school, my dad registered a Thunderstock for Oswego.
Yep.
Wasn't ready. It never happened. But I registered as a driver too. So I had the driver card.
Yeah.
And I felt so cool. Like this was like way years before I started racing. So it just made me feel like an actual driver. And then to go online and see my name on the roster, and I'm like, I don't even have a car. Like,
but guess what? I'm there.
Nobody at school knew that.
Exactly. Exactly. It
makes it's cool. Like even if it's not like the NASCAR card and stuff, just a simple card saying that you are a registered driver or crew or whatever, it feels good. It feels official.
Absolutely does it ever is. And I wish Sunset Speedway nothing but the best. Hopefully the partnership works out and we can see better, maybe even better car counts at Sunset because of that, because it's going to be able to help people get sponsorship and go run. I really hope all the best. Like that's all I'm going to say. I don't think much has come out since last time we talked about Sauble Speedway.
Grand Bend released.
Yes.
That's
you want to talk about that real quick?
Okay. So what was it? They're gonna have, is it between 10 p.m. and 1 p.m.? I believe.
I'm gonna pull it up right now, but why don't you start telling them what it is?
So they're gonna have like live entertainment after the races. I didn't catch, because I didn't read it myself. Honestly, my mom was telling me about it. I didn't get a chance to go read it. So I can't remember if they're serving alcohol. I would assume that they are.
So here it is. This is the official rundown from Grand Bend Speedway. New at Grand Bend Speedway and Festival Center for the 2023 season. Entertainment on a whole new level. The Outside Groove Party Bar, open every Saturday night during the races. Then after, with live music and DJs on the brand new Land Shark stage. It is going to be a nightclub, bands. There's even going to be ride-alongs that you can do after the races, like while the music's going on and stuff. They're going to have around the bend ride-alongs. And it starts at 10 p.m. and goes till 2 a.m. I'm excited for that because I think we talked about it at the end of the last season. what's the one thing that tracks need to do? Be more accessible, be more opportunistic. Opportunistic. I love the approach Grand Bend is going here. They already have, by the looks of it, I gotta see here. So I think even Grand Bend is, by the looks of it, is holding Rib Fest.
Okay.
And they already have an act announced for that stage.
Wow.
So July 10th, I think I see. July 15th. From 8:30 p.m. to 11 p.m., they will be having Almost Hip.
Okay.
So that's going to be, I'm pretty cool. I'm pretty happy to hear about that they're going to have Rib Fest and they already have a band. But going back to it, tracks really do need to do something like this.
Like, I mean, we talked about it the other night.
Yeah.
And I still hold that opinion that they need to start doing things like that, because as I don't want to say it, but I feel like there's a lot of people out there that would go to a track, but they don't want to sit there and just watch cars on the track all night. You need to throw something else in there to grab attention. And that is exactly what people are looking for.
Absolutely. Here's
it's genius.
Here's the one thing, okay? Indianapolis has done this. Michigan has done this because I've been there. But at Indianapolis, do you know what they did during the 500? The Indy 500 for the Indy cars? If I remember, the one year they had Florida Georgia Line playing a concert in the infields while the 500 was going on.
Oh.
So think about it. Do you know 200, I think it's over 250,000 people can fit at Indianapolis. Do you know how much more people that just brought in because they're going to buy a race ticket and they're going to buy a FGL ticket?
A lot.
There's a lot of people who are going to buy those tickets and go see them. I was like, damn, that's cool. Concert and a race in one. Beautiful. I went to Michigan. I won free passes from KX 94.7 on the Saturday, right after the truck race, over the PA system. All you hear is, right now on the stage in turn one, outside turn one, Tim Duggar, followed by, I think, who was it? Damn it. Keith Anderson. And if you've never listened to Tim Duggar, one, he's hysterical. Two, he is probably one of the most well-known country artists in NASCAR.
Yeah.
Because that guy travels with the series a lot of the time and he performs at the track.
Yeah.
Like that's his gig a lot of the time. And you know what? Like he puts on a great show. But guess what? That's the retention. You can do like there when you got go-karting on, you need to be out in the community. And that's the biggest thing I stress is you got to be in the community.
Definitely.
Tracks got to get out more. They got to be involved because you can no longer rely on word of mouth.
No.
Word of mouth, it unfortunately is dead. It is all, it's not dead, but it's a lot of it is still social media based now.
Yeah.
So if you see people going on your Google account or whatever and leaving reviews and they're negative reviews, something's got to change. Like, or even if there's a positive review, you got to run with that and continue doing what you need to do. But with Grand Bend opening up a grandstand or opening up a stage, love it, praise it. I'm excited.
And I mean that ride around too, I feel like that's going to be huge because for even me as a kid to sit in those grandstands, I always wanted to be on that track, whether it's in a car or just standing on it or standing in the infield. And even to this day, I race at Flamborough. And every time I get to step foot onto that track, I'm like, this is so cool. Like, it's cool.
Every track I get to, I love if I get a chance to be able to walk on the track. It is one for me because you guys know this. I love history.
Yeah.
I love history of motorsports. A lot of people know this about me. The one thing I can never stress enough is when I walk onto a pavement or dirt or whatever, and I think like Junior Hanley's raced here.
Mhm.
Think about the Elliots, think about the Shaws, the House, these big names, the Shepherds. You think of their names,
It's cool.
you almost feel like you're not worthy to be. To me, I feel like I'm never worthy enough to be walking on these tracks.
Hmm.
Like, I get I'm covering my stuff, I'm doing what I need to do, but it's still such an unreal feeling. Like, what is it? I went to whenever I go to Toronto, okay, at the CNE grounds, they won where BMO Field is roughly where the outfield the outfield was for CNE Stadium. That's back when they held baseball there. They held football. And then when those teams moved to the Skydome, they turned it back into asphalt racing.
Hmm.
Think about when you go back and think about who even raced there prior to that stuff being turned into that. Do you realize Richard Petty got his first start in NASCAR in Toronto?
Honestly, no, I didn't.
Okay. I don't know the year, but he got his first start at the CNE grounds in Toronto for a NASCAR race.
That's cool.
So think about that. His first, I think it was the convertible. I'm gonna look this up because I want to make sure I'm correct here. And I'm not sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not meaning to take so long here because we got to get to our guest here. We got Cameron Lane coming on here in just a little bit. Richard Petty, first race. 1958 Jim Median 500 Toronto, and it was in the the convertible class.
Okay.
Yeah. So first of all, let's just applaud that for a second because that's just insane.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's I don't even know where I was going to that, but yeah.
It's just cool. I think tracks
Absolutely.
need to think about it more because I think some track owners, because they're there all the time, they don't realize how cool it is to most people to be able to have those opportunities. Whereas you look at it and you see the history, you know the history. And I mean, that's what I think. Sometimes even when I'm driving out there, I'm like, oh my God, like there's been so many cool drivers on this track before me.
Yeah.
And I'm out here now. And it's just the same as like we talked about it the other night. Certain people that don't know what an influence they hold. It's like I look at Adam Ross and I'm like, oh my God, you're so cool.
Yeah.
And it's like he probably doesn't even know what an influence he had. Like he might, but some people don't know the influence that like tracks and people hold. So it's like take it and run.
That's exactly it. Like you're right though. Like Adam Ross, like he is such an influence to us.
Mm-hmm.
Because for myself, like I would love to do what he's doing G-Force, going NASCAR Pinty stuff. To me, that's this kind of stuff I would love to do. I would love to be able to sit there and call races.
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, sitting there and calling a race, you can have a lot of fun with that. And when I watch G-Force and I see how Greg Clinton and Adam all act, I can't help but just think like, man, like I would kill to be the one of those guys to enjoy myself with the camaraderie that they got. They razz each other.
Yeah.
But still, like that's the whole point of it. Like they help make the time go.
Yeah.
Like they're not like a regular TV service where they can throw it to commercial. Their producers like throw it to commercial, and we'll be back after this. G-Force, they don't got that option.
No,
they don't have it. They literally go shoot the crap for about 15 minutes, and they're like, oh, maybe we should run some ads for about 5 minutes and for like 30 seconds, right?
Hmm.
So anyways, going back to our original thought here, Grand Bend, phenomenal idea, bringing in the stage. I love it. I cannot wait to come to the track, and I'm hoping to get out to Grand Bend this summer
Hmm.
and enjoy a night of the races and go enjoy some music afterwards.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. We have a lot of other stuff we need to get to, but I feel like we're gonna talk a lot tonight. So I feel like right now let's just get in our guest this week. What do you think?
Sure.
All right, let's bring in this week's guest, Cameron Lane. All right, guys, joining us this week on the True North Racing Podcast is the driver, the number 24C, is Cameron Lane. Cam, how are you, man?
Pretty good about yourself there, Jonathan.
Pretty good, man. Thank you for joining us this week. How's your off season going?
Pretty good. I've been busy with work and stuff and trying to get the race car ready for next year and hoping to have a better 2023 season than our last couple seasons. But
what do you do for work?
I'm a welder and I'm also a lift installer.
Okay, nice. Pretty good job. Pretty good job.
Yeah, keeps me on my feet all day. That's about it. So
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Pays the bills, right?
Yeah.
Keeps
Pays for the race
it-
car.
That's what I was about to say. Keeps the race car running, right?
Yeah.
So how's your 2022 season?
The 2022 season was good. We went off with a rough start there at the beginning where we had to take a break for a little bit because we're not really of a high funded race team. We're more of a low budget race team. We work with what we got, and if we upgrade, we would upgrade. So we updated the car about mid season, got all the newer stuff on there just to compete. And once we were out there, we we're doing pretty good. We were catching up on lap times pretty fast. It's just the driver was a little rusty, of course. That's how it always is, but so far it's been pretty good. I mean, it's worked a lot better than our past couple seasons. We've been improving slowly, which is a win for us, really.
Hey, as long as you keep moving forward, that's all that matters.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean, it's a win to us. If the car comes on the trailer one piece, that's all that matters.
So how long have you guys been modified racing?
I've been racing the modified since 2019.
Okay.
I raced for somebody else for 1 or 2 races, and I got the itch. I was racing mini stocks and V6 cars, and I raced a Thunder stock a couple times previous to that, and I raced go-karts when I was younger and ATVs. But
Well, we're definitely going to touch base on that ATV stuff because that's I'm always into the unique racing ideas. But let's get into that actually. So how do you first get involved in racing? How did you start?
well, I was about 5 years old, and it was Christmas morning. I was
Just
5
a
or 6.
baby.
Yeah, and I look out in the front window, and there's 3 150cc racing quads sitting on the front lawn. And I'm like, oh, okay, what's this for? My dad walks out and hands me the keys. Says, yeah, you get your ass on that and you're racing that. So that's where me and my brother started off in.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool actually.
Yeah.
That's so how long did you race quads for?
We raced for about 3 years until we wanted to upgrade, and we couldn't really upgrade because we're not a 2-wheeled bike family, really. We don't like the 2-wheel situation, and the only way to upgrade was going to dirt bike and motocross.
Yeah.
So then we got into that RC car racing for a bit. We did that a little professionally, me and my brother, and then we ended up going go-kart racing after that.
Hold up. You said you did RC racing professionally?
Yeah, so we had a couple clubs down here.
Okay. Whereabouts are you from so we can have a better idea here?
I'm in St. Catharines.
Okay.
So there are places down here
that do RC racing. So what kind of RC racing? Is it just like drag racing? Is it like circuit track? What are we looking at here?
It'd be so we race dirt course, and then we also carpet oval.
A carpet oval.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are these places? Give a shout out to these places if they're still around, because
I know Niagara RC World is still open. They do
Okay.
the mud course now too, but that's where we race the course dirt, so that they have an actual indoor clay track. He's pretty busy still. He does all the mud boss stuff, so we did that. And then we also raced at Allenberg in Niagara Falls, Allenberg and Thorold area. So
Yep.
we raced the carpet oval every Sunday. We were pretty big into it. Like we had probably 2 bedrooms full in our house of just racing stuff, and for that, and like just kept buying more and more, just like upgrade. And
I don't care what anyone else says. That is amazing. Like that. Did you guys at least have fun doing that?
yeah, that's how we got into go-kart racing, because we were at Niagara RC World and a go-kart was hanging from the ceiling by 2 pieces of steel tying wire, and we decided to offer the guy some money, and he's like, sure, take it. So then we ended up racing that thing like a week later, and then got all the RC car stuff because it was too slow for us.
So where was your first laps laid down in a go-kart?
Gallagher's.
Where's
in,
that?
Bond Hill. It's a privately owned track.
Okay.
So we did that, and then we finally moved up to Merrittville.
Yep.
And sadly, Humberstone didn't have their go-kart track because I heard good things about that. And then 1061 Speedway also closed down for that. So we raced Merrittville and we raced Gallagher's full-time in go-karts.
Okay. How old were you when you guys started doing that?
I was probably about maybe 11, 12 at the time.
Wow. So you've been going at it for a while now.
Yeah.
Wow. So how long did you guys race go-karts for?
We raced go-karts, so I was probably around 11, 12. I raced it probably all the way up till I was about, I think, 14, 15. And then
That's all right.
I got into cars after that right away.
And that's when you made your mini stock debut. And
Yeah. My brother stayed in it for a bit for the karts.
what was your first mini stock then? Like, what was the car?
It was a Ford Mustang.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where'd you guys get the car from?
I got it from a buddy of mine. So we actually had like 20 race cars in our life. So we bought that one, and then I ended up a couple years later, I ended up picking up Melissa Bullen's old mini stock.
Yep.
I raced that. That was probably the best mini stock I've ever had. That thing handled so good, had a nice power plant in it. Sadly, I sold it to a Southern Ontario Motor Speedway guy, and then somebody else picked it up. A girl's actually racing it currently.
Nice.
They're in the car, so she's doing pretty well in it. Last year was her first year, so.
And she's down at Southern Ontario, you said?
Yeah, she raced Oshwegan last year a bit, and then she's at Southern Ontario. Yeah.
What's the name? Do you know?
I know Crazy Girl Racing. Terry St. Jules is her wife or husband. Sorry.
Megan's probably gonna do some research on this.
Yeah,
She...
I feel like I have to know. Like I probably know who it is.
Megan's essentially a resident Oshwegan reporter. Because well, I mean, before she moved, she just moved in early December there, but like before, she were like what, no more than 15 minutes away from there.
Yeah.
So many a nights were spent there. Now we're gonna have to go name looking after this.
Yeah.
So after the mini stock, you guys moved up to the Thunder stock, right?
Yeah, like I went from mini stock to Sportsman.
Okay.
My brother went to Thunder stocks.
Okay, so
actually he started from V6 Thunder stock, then went back to and then went to mini stock for probably a couple races. Like we built him a car, and then he wanted to go back to V6 and then go to the Thunder stocks.
okay. So what was the driving force for you to go from a mini stock up to the Sportsman modifieds?
Like the driving force?
Yeah, what helped you, like what was the reasoning behind you guys moving up to the division you guys were in?
It's just when I got offered a ride in Brighton one year, and I took it, and I enjoyed it very much. When I first time, I did pretty good. I was setting some fast lap times. Sadly, I didn't make the feature both nights because there's about 40-50 cars there every time you're racing at Brighton.
Yeah.
But I just got the itch, and then next month I ended up buying Brent Bigelow's old car and raced that.
What I feel like there's I just realized there's a guy on Facebook that I have on Facebook. I think he wanted to ask a question, but I think he didn't know when you were coming on. So I feel like he's gonna be upset when this airs and he realizes it. Joey Harriman's,
Oh yeah, yeah.
the 57 car. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like, he asked me this week. He was like, "Have you guys recorded with Cam yet?" I was like, "No." I'm like, "That's this week." So I thought he might have had a question, but he hasn't answered me or gotten back to me yet. So, um, so how's the modify been going for you? Like obviously, like the rookie year, it's gonna be all learning. But how was that first season for you?
It's going pretty good. Um, it's just like I gotta work on setup a little bit better. The car I run is not like a car you would buy down here. It's a US car, so it's a DKM.
Okay.
So trying to find setup books, setup relativities for that car is kind of hard because the setup that they want is not like what they have down here. Like down here, it's coilovers, short rod, extra degreed axles, and like when you go to the States, they're like, oh, still run torsion bars. Like nobody's on torsion bars down here. They haven't been on it for 3-4 years now. So just trying to keep up the pace with everybody and try to get up 10 years ahead instead of being 10 years behind is
Yeah.
a little difficult.
Honestly, I feel that with the CVMs. Just like 2 years ago, we made the change over to allow coilovers on the cars,
Yeah.
and it's been a game changer for them. Like we've gotten a lot more interest from drivers and stuff like that to come run the class, because essentially you can take half the stuff you're doing in a super asphalt super stock and go run it in a CVM car now.
Yeah. I actually
Um,
helped build 2 CVM cars.
sorry,
I helped build 2 CVM cars, and I remember the coilover switch over.
hold up. Who'd you help with?
Bill Stoner. I helped
Oh
build
yeah.
with Rob Clark.
Which car did you guys do that work on? Was it Bill's car or?
I did Bill's car. I helped all the coilover setup on that when he
Okay.
first redid it, and then I helped redo the Bandit with Johnny Crash
Okay, nice.
because we shared a shop together down Niagara on the Lake.
Oh, that explains a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
The one that currently is in a million pieces of ash right now, but
Yep. Don't get me started. I remember that like first or second night of there at Flamborough with Robbie Guy losing a motor going into one. That was not a good night. Actually, was that a night? No, I think he just lost a motor and just kept going around. Yeah, that was that night because Joe lost another rear clip on that car that night. Anyway, so yeah, so you know a lot of this stuff. It seems like you're kind of going on the right path, and you guys have a good trajectory going upwards here. So let's dive into 2023. What are some of your plans for this year?
2023. I'm looking into. I went and looked today. I'm looking at getting a Bicknell chassis.
Okay.
Upgrade my chassis this year. So if I could upgrade my chassis, that would be a couple steps ahead than last year, which is an improvement for us because at least Bicknell I could call. They could give me technical support here, and I could get all that stuff, which is nice. And then a lot of guys run the Bicknells down here anyways, so like you could talk to somebody, say, hey, like, what can I do to make my car handle better, like this and that. And a lot of guys down here are very helpful for that. And then a lot of guys will confuse you, just take a shock off their car, run in their trailer for 10 minutes, and then take that same shock and put it back on the car, not even do anything to it. Thinking you're doing all these changes, but really you're not.
Yeah.
It's like a mind game.
That's the thing, is sometimes drivers will help you get within the ballpark to be competitive, and then after that they'll stop helping you. Or there's guys who will fake you completely out, and you just got to guess, is like, what do you do differently? Like it's racing. You got your friends, and then you got your frenemies, essentially.
Yeah.
Right. Like you said, I think a lot of us have seen that, where guys taking something off the car, run into their trailer, close it up, not do anything, just, you don't hear nothing. Next thing, he just walks back out and just nonchalantly puts it back in.
Yeah.
I think we've seen Andy Camerath do that a few times in the mini stock in one of the cars at Flamborough. All of a sudden, you'll see the car go up, covers go over the wheels, and then he'll just pull stuff off and just walk away. And then come back. I don't know if he's ever done nothing, but he's always searching for that next 10th. So I believe he's touching stuff up to get faster.
Either they're touching something or it's a big mind game to confuse you. To
That
make you
that's
go on your
exactly
side.
it. I kind of wish I could go back on some times, like on some timing and scoring to see if they have when he was doing that stuff, to see if I can figure out like if he actually gained a 10th or if he just stayed the same and just messed everyone else up.
It's possible. I mean, everybody does that, finds that extra 10th.
Oh yeah.
Just you got to, right? Like,
Mhm.
That's how you continue getting faster, right? We're all trying to beat our personal best, or we're trying to beat, you know, the guy who's up front. We want to beat him by a 10th, a minimum a lap kind of thing. You want to consistently be that guy. But you know, it's as much it's a huge learning process to be able to get all that right, and you got to be willing to put in the work for that.
yeah, like all of these like setup books that everybody's got, like that's years of experience and years of like learning. That's why they call it the Bible.
Well, we know why we know Megan's sister has the Bible for their team.
Yup.
Every time that car touches the track, you comes off the track, she's running over there, grabbing tire pressure, checking everything on their car, and but that's what you go off of.
Yeah.
You know, that's how that when you try something, that you reference what you got. You
Well, like
reference that book.
That night Megan won in the her car. You need to go back to that reference night. So if the like
Mhm.
everything, put it back there. There you go. You got your start. If you got to adjust something minor just to get that little bit of a 8 to a 10, boom, you're set.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy how much, even when you're not racing, you're still racing.
Mhm.
Like doesn't we said, Megan and I said to this the other night when we were hanging out, was that you win a race, but where you win that race is in the shop. So sorry, you're getting a Bignell chassis. I know we just randomly just went off rails there. That's usually our theme around here, is just going off rails, even with our guests. So you're planning on getting a Bignell chassis.
Yeah.
So you plan on running Humberstone or Merrittville full time?
Yeah, Maryville full time, Humberstone full time, and then I'm gonna try to work my way to Ransomville.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Mhm.
If I could get to Ransomville, I'll try out a couple of their classes up there. Like I know they got the novice and the sportsman.
Yep.
So they got both novice sportsman and sportsman. So if I choose between the two and I like one, I'll stick to it. And it's just like trying to get there Friday, getting over the border, make sure you have enough time to set up, everything, get the car ready.
That's always the biggest thing, right? Is making sure you have that time. How far of a drive is it from your house to Ransomville?
I've been told it's like an hour and a half.
Oh man, that's not terrible at all. That's it, Megan. We're getting passports. We're going on a road trip.
I was ready to go.
I just need to get a passport first before I can go. But I've heard good things about Ransomville, and I was always curious. Like I've seen how far it is from my house. It's definitely not that far, but it would be a good time. I think it looks like a good track, anyways, to go run. You've been able to visit, obviously?
No, I haven't visited yet.
Oh no, you just heard good things about it?
I've just heard good things about it. Like an old buddy of mine, which is Noah, he raced there full time. He ended up picking up the novice champion.
Yeah.
This year. So
Yeah, I when I saw that, I was like, damn, that's pretty cool.
Like I'm just all about clean racing. Like, because you get the bangers down here and you're spending money on your car and it gets
Mhm.
tore up. Then you're redoing it all again all week and then getting it all ready and set up last minute to go racing again.
Yeah, that's always the tough part. You got to find those good places where they do relatively clean racing. So that's cool that you're going to try to get down to Ransomville though, because that, like I said, I've heard good things. I've heard good things about the track, and it definitely seems like one of those ones that is definitely manageable to get on a Friday night if you want to.
Yeah.
So Humberstone, Merrittville full time, and Ransomville. That, you know, that's hey, so that's a pretty good season up ahead
Mhm.
for you. Last year, was it? I gotta. I'm gonna check my messages here, but before we do, or I'll bring this up after. I say let's get into our fan question period.
Okay.
So as you saw earlier, we put it on Facebook there that we got a bunch of questions submitted in to be able to ask you. You ready to answer them?
Sure.
All right, Megan, take it away while I look up this this other thing here.
Okay. Okay, first of all, I've never known how to pronounce his last name, so I hope I'm saying it right. Jordan is it Fiddler?
Yeah, Fiddler.
Oh, okay. He said, "What are your future plans in racing?" Which I guess we kind of talked about it.
My future plans. One day I hope to have a sprint car. I've always wanted a sprint car, but just what you got to put into a sprint car is a lot more than what I'm in right now. And for me to upgrade, I'm looking at probably the same amount to even update my car. So, and I enjoy the sportsman class. It's like a good class. You just got to put in the work. That's all really racing's about. Is putting in the work, finding that extra tenth, like Jonathan said.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And Jordan again, oh boy, said, "When are you gonna find?" Okay, I find this. Okay, when are you finally going to become a man and build a bone stock?
Well, you could tell Jordan that he did that upon himself. I towed his car for last year up to Delaware. He got sick one weekend, so I went with his crew guy Nick for Flat Broke Racing. So Steve Shaw Jr. drove the car. So then they said, "Oh, why don't you take it out for a practice because you're too chicken to drive on asphalt?" Well, I always say asphalt's for getting to the dirt track, but I actually enjoyed it. I ended up getting 14th out of 32 cars in time trials on the practice second run, and Steve ended up getting 5th. So
It's really good. See, I just, even as a pure stock driver myself, I feel like dirt modifieds are way cooler.
I find the
Yeah.
bone stocks fun,
They're fun. They're really fun.
especially we're with Chris Lawrence and all that BT Racing. Oh, and they're a hoot. And then you have the Triple B Racing.
Mm.
It was just like partying and laughing at each other at the end of the night. You didn't get home didn't leave the racetrack till like 1 o'clock in the morning, and it's a 2 hour and a half drive home.
That's a big drive.
That sounds par for the course.
And then the last question is it Kaylin Marie or Caitlin?
It was Kaylin.
Caitlin?
No T.
No T. Kaylin. Okay. What was the first track you raced at?
So the first track I raced at was probably, I'd say, Gallagher's for the go-karts and Merrittville for the race cars.
Nice. I think that was the last. Yeah, that was the last question.
Oh yeah, that's where I needed to go. Sorry, I'm still trying to find what I was looking for, because for whatever reason, messages got deleted. I don't know where they are. So now I need to go back through my news section here on my website. Give me 2 more seconds, because this is bugging me, and I need to make sure I'm getting this correct. That's all. Because I hate doing that. There it is. Give me I'm sorry, guys. I yeah, not even that one too. Cam, I got a question. Did you ask to be part of the Joe Media rundown there at the end of the season?
Yeah.
Yes, got it. Found it. Just as I freaking asked that, I found it. I gotta ask, man. What was the reason you reached out to me after I put up saying that we were going to promote drivers for free for the last few weekends of their season?
I came across it on Facebook, and Jordan sent it to me, and a couple other guys sent it to me. Like I know Cam from around the racetrack, Cam Thompson.
Yeah,
I know him are friends, and I seen it, and I'm like, I've heard of this podcast. I've heard of you filming in-car footage. It's just I could never know the name. I'm just doing so much. I'm forgetting. I'm like, what the heck? Like I had you on Facebook too, and I have Megan on Facebook. I'm like, what the heck?
And we're both sharing all this stuff all the times.
I'm like, it's something to do with a J. I said, I've always wanted to reach out, but I can never figure out their name. I've seen it. I'm like, no, I'm texting Jonathan right now. I said, like, if you want to throw me in there, if not, it's okay. I don't care. But like, and then you text me like, yeah, I'll throw you in there.
Yeah. Dude, I was, like I said, I just put it up on Facebook. I just thought for shits and giggles. I was like, you know what? Like, if it helps some racers get more promotion, even for like a couple weekends at the end of the season, to me, that's the one thing that drives me is I want to promote racers. And sometimes I'm nice enough and I would like to give back. And I know that doesn't sound like sarcasm coming out of me, but that was complete sarcasm. But I do love helping racers. Yeah. So you reached out and said, hey man, do you mind putting me in the rundown? Hell yeah. I got no issues. And then, you asked to be put on the podcast. I have no issues with that. Honestly, I prefer when racers reach out and go, hey man, can I come on your podcast? Yeah, absolutely you can. So honestly, man, I appreciate that you reached out to us and we're able to get you on the rundown in our results section on our website, because we weren't using the Facebook page for that anymore because we had the website. And then of course for you reaching out and saying, wanting to come on the podcast, I'm hoping you had a good time tonight. That's all my main worry is.
And I appreciate you allowing me on here.
Anytime, man. It's always fun when we get to chat with racers, and even when they come back, because I find, because sometimes we were joking this off season that Megan's new nickname is gonna be Shy Time. From one of our previous episodes, we're gonna figure out how to give her a new nickname for next year.
Shy Time, but here she is. She came up with a nice new intro for you.
Yeah, I know, right?
That might have been influenced.
No, so. See, the thing behind that whole the intro part for that was absolutely hysterical because she didn't tell me what was happening.
No.
So I put my phone in the because it was a selfie museum in Niagara Falls, right? So I put it in there, and next thing I hit record, and next thing she just grabs the mic and I'm like, what is about to happen? And she starts saying, I'm like, this is the best thing ever. And we keep saying she needs to do this more often and interject into our.
That was like influenced by a few drinks though, so
yeah,
I don't know if I can do that on a Sunday night before work.
Well, yeah, like 5 is okay. I mean,
5.
So you start at noon. Have one every hour. You're good.
Fair.
Cameron, is there anyone you want to thank for getting you here tonight and who's helped you out throughout your racing career?
The most people I'd thank in like before anybody else is probably my family. They've helped support everything, especially my dad, my brother, my sister, and my mom. They've helped out a lot. All my friends too, like my brother-in-law, which was my friend, and like Doug Gordon, he's helped me out a lot with my car. And my sponsors too. Like if it wasn't for a lot of our sponsors, we wouldn't be racing as much as we would. So like we got really nice sponsors that always like ask us like, hey, do we need anything? And they always check in like, how's the race car coming? They'll show up at the shop or at our house and say, hey, like, is everything going good? Do you need anything? Like even if I could use like some of my sponsors, I use some of their like services even for work every day. Like I'll bring stuff to them for work and they get it done. It's really nice, and I appreciate everybody that helps me. Probably can never say thank you enough. Like, I don't know if you understand what I mean, but like,
oh yeah,
you say thank you to somebody, and sometimes you think, oh, that's not enough. Like, I wish I could say thank you better, but really, like, you appreciate what they do for you.
Absolutely, it's like I think Megan and myself, we can both attest to that, is that there's people who have stepped up in our lives, and no matter what, we feel like we can never thank them back, right? I think we both can attest to that.
Big time, yeah.
Is there any sponsors you want to thank? Is anyone else?
So I could list off the sponsors.
Yeah, go right ahead, man. This is your time. It's time to promote you. It's your that we're helping you promote you. Like we're giving you that platform to give them a shout out.
I'm a little nervous. This is my first time doing one here. So
Oh, do you have a list?
no, I know them off.
Okay. Okay.
There's PVM Hydraulics. There's Fast Lane Transportation, which is my father. He owns that company. We sponsor a couple race cars out there also. There is RT Pizza and Pete's Pizza on Lakeshore. There is James Auto and Weekend Motorsports. There's Heidehoff that helped us out after the fire. Then there's also I had 2 family members reach out after the fire to help me too. They're very close. So I call her Nani and Paul. So they helped us out this year. There is Reclaim from Roots, Live Edge company. He helped me out with a little bit of stuff on the car and all that stuff, which is nice. And then there is Dennis Giancola from Commercial Auto Electric. He's helped us out numerous times. I can't thank him enough. He's helped me with the motor, got me a motor to run. He owns Ram Machining. He bought a engine company. He does engine rebuilds for boats and cars and all this stuff. And he's one of the guys I can't thank enough. Same with PVM. They help out so much that I can't even say thank you enough to them. Like, yeah, and then we had our apparel guy, Sick Apparel. He did all our t-shirts for us and sweatshirts the one year.
Nice.
Got us all swagged up, if you say. Yeah, and then I think that's everything. I'm kind of forgetting here. I'm just looking here because the picture I have on my computer screen is from the first year in my old car.
Oh, okay.
You know what? I'm gonna hold on one second. I'm gonna pull up a picture.
Okay. So that's the one thing I always suggest is either like for like people on racing, always tape on your rear. I know on your cars it would probably be a little different, but like on one of the asphalt cars, you stick a piece of tape or stick a piece of paper on some plexiglass that's behind the driver's seat. So when you get out, there's the list right there.
Yeah.
You'll never forget because you just got, if you look at the car, you think you're looking at the sponsors. Meanwhile, the list is right there.
Yeah. Oh, and Concept One Fabrication. That's Todd and Doug Gordon. They do all my bumpers and body panels.
Nice.
So when I crash, and they're my go-to call right away.
That's understandable. First of all, if you do some apparel for 2023, let me know and I'll buy a t-shirt off you.
Sounds good. I'll even just give you one.
I'll buy. I'd rather support a program.
Yeah.
Text me size. I'll get you one.
Bet. Say less. Don't tease me with that. I'll send you one afterwards. Okay.
All right.
Cameron, it's been fun talking to you. Thank you for jumping on the True North Racing podcast this week, and we look forward to seeing you at a racetrack next year.
Thank you, and I appreciate having me on here.
We'll talk to you later. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. Bye now.
Bye.
All right, guys. We want to thank Cameron Lane for joining us this week on the True North Racing podcast. I think that was for his first time doing something like that. I think he had a lot of fun. And I hope he enjoyed himself. I hope he has a great 2023 season. But it sounds like he's improving his program, which is something that I'd love to hear. There's some cool things. I'm hoping he does some apparel this year so I can pick myself up a t-shirt. I would love to try to pick up a t-shirt from every person that comes on the show. So if anyone is selling apparel or merchandise and you guys are already going to be appearing on an upcoming show, let me know because I'm going to buy a shirt, maybe 2 shirts. Because I want to support programs. I want to support racers because those are the guys who are supporting us in a sense, and we're able to help support them. So I want to help make it full circle.
I just thought of it. Okay, I feel like Jordan Fiddler would be a fun one to have on.
I think we need to get Jordan on. I think it'd be fun because him and I talked a little bit. We've talked a little bit. I think I have him scheduled. Do I not?
I don't know.
Now I gotta let me go check my notes.
Like I like hearing from these dirt guys too. I feel like we do a lot of asphalt, and I know Jordan got into the pure stocks this year, but
Yeah, we can talk about why he chose to run in pure stocks or bone stocks, why he chose to drive that ridiculous length to Delaware Speedway
on a Friday.
on a Friday. Like I remember doing that stuff. Where do I have that list? Oh my, did I have it on? Did I have it in my notes? Or did I have a list?
I have no idea.
I can't
I don't think
remember.
I've seen a list.
Oh no. Now I'm opening up Google. Oh, there it is. Guest list. Sorry guys, it was on my Google Drive. I didn't have that open. I still got all my 2022 stuff here. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, I gotta check back with him, make sure he's still good. Our next guest, yeah, we by the way, we do have Jordan.
Okay.
He
Cool.
is coming on February 5th.
Okay.
But next time we record, Ryan Beagle is gonna join us.
I would freaking love to talk to him.
Oh, you're gonna get that opportunity in 2 weeks on January 22nd.
The big dough.
Look at that. That's gonna be fun.
Mhm.
So currently we have till February 26th all booked up with drivers
Nice.
to talk to. And actually sorry, that's a lie. That's a lie. Our first 3 episodes of 2023 are drivers. Our 4th episode this year, stickers and scuffs.
Okay.
We'll have Cam K and Graydon Bunn join us.
That'd be cool.
And depending on time, we may try and get Graydon's kids on here as well to talk about them. I think that would be fun. That's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm gonna talk to them boys to make sure we're still good.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last guy I got booked right now isn't a racer, but he's an announcer. Kevin Small, the announcer at Flamborough Speedway, is gonna join us. So if you guys want to be a guest on the True North Racing podcast, please reach out to us. If you are an announcer, a TV personality, if you are a driver, a crew member, we want to hear from you guys, a promoter even.
A tech guy. I'd like to
A
hear
tech
from
guy.
that guy. I'd love to talk to Glenn Hill.
We need to get Glenn on here. I think we need to get Glenn Hills on here and talk to him. He's already been suggested a few times.
Mm-hmm.
And I think some of the questions we could ask him,
I feel like the fan questions.
the
would be
fan questions
wild.
alone, we won't
Like,
even
I
need to
already
do
know.
an us show. Like it will literally just be filled with questions from guests, guaranteed.
Mhm.
But we're gonna have fun with that. On that, I think we there's other stuff we wanted to talk about. We're starting to get a little later tonight. I gotta get going here soon because I do have work in the morning, and I gotta be out of my house by probably just before 6:30 in the morning. So I want to get to bed, get a good night's sleep before I do start the new job. Megan, is there anything you're excited for this year before we sign off for the week?
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited to get back into the car. I think it's official that I am returning. And we officially have 4 drivers. Might be I don't know if it's happening. Looking for 2 more cars. We still don't know the car situation, but I'm getting back into a car. So
If
I'm nervous and I'm excited.
let's put that there. If anyone is selling a bone stock, please reach out to Megan on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. They are looking for 2 more cars, and if one can be a Sunfire, that'd be better. Because I know Chase wants a Sunfire.
He really does. He's pretty upset that that it's gone. So
Yeah. So if anyone can help us out to get 2 more cars over into the MRC stable, let's help them out. Let's help them out.
What?
It's gonna be cool to see your entire family essentially your entire family get out on track and race together. That's gonna be fun to see.
And my mom's decided she would like to.
Oh, she can't
like
be
to
the
do it
lone one
too.
out, so she's gonna get a
Yeah.
car too. That's it.
Now we just
Perfect.
had Garrison and Cody and Chelsea. Like, I don't know if any of them would. I know Cody would, given the
Cody would in a
opportunity.
heartbeat. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Jeez.
He had, fun fact, he had a pure stock at one point.
Did he?
It just never worked out. It never saw the track with him in it, but he would do it in a heartbeat. Garrison not so much, and I don't know if Chelsea would, but
Yeah.
then we would lose our crew. Cody's like our only pit crew, so yeah,
I'll come
he'll
help out.
Yeah, we talked about that.
I'll come and help. I'll make sure I'm not doing anything CVM related that night. So, you'll literally see me walking around with my Snap-on electric impact and just roll. I'll have like my own personal tape, like belts, and I'll just have like different holsters on it, like duct tape and impacts. I'll even walk around with a helmet on, so I can have the lug nuts like taped here.
Yeah.
So you see me just walking around with a jack. Oh boy, yeah, I would even do that just for shits and giggles. I think I may do that one time.
Do
Just
it.
walk in the pits, get one of them like BMX helmets, put some Velcro here with some
You're so cool.
get a belt, and maybe that'll be my Halloween costume this year.
Do it.
I don't even like dressing up for Halloween. I think I can do that though.
Let's do it. I'll dress up as myself.
Everyone dress up like racers, and me, I'm just the pit crew. my catchphrase, I want to go fast.
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right. Megan, let's get us out of the show for the night.
Alrighty. Thank you for listening to the True North Racing Podcast. You can stay up to date on everything with Jomo Media and Promotions by following us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. Don't forget to check out the website.
Yeah.
And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
All right, guys. Episode 82 is in the books. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you once again for Cameron Lane for joining us. For Megan Mitchell, I'm John Morrison. We will see you guys next week. Bye now.
See ya.
Engine rooming by, smell the gas and feel the vibe, going into overdrive. Drop the flag, then the car zooming by. Hey, True North Racing, let's go.